Hi everyone, I'm Jeannie Dibon and let's get zebra strong. Now, one question I get asked a lot by people is about breathing when we exercise. So when should I be inhaling? When should I be exhaling? And that can be quite confusing. So I'm not a huge fan of giving those instructions, sort of inhale here, exhale here, inhale, exhale, because I think that people become too focused on that and the process of movement becomes a bit too mechanical. So we're so concerned about whether we should be inhaling or exhaling that we don't really embody the movement, and then it all gets very confusing and it's kind of a bit disheartening for many people because they get so confused by the breath. So the first thing I say is, as long as you're breathing, that's the most important thing. So keep breathing, okay? Just do your own thing. Don't get too worried about it. But once you kind of got past that stage where you are breathing, because a lot of the time we also hold our breath because we're so focused on what we're doing, we don't realize we're holding our breath, and obviously that's then going to put tension in the body. So make sure you're breathing, and then once you've got that under the control, it's really useful to start to feel how breath can help facilitate movement and make it easier for you. And then you really start to work with your breath, and your movements become smoother and more integrated. So remember, the breath really comes first and the movement comes second, and then you start to get this real integration in your movement. So we're going to do a little supine exercise, a curl up exercise together, which will help kind of demonstrate what I mean by breath facilitating movement. Okay, so have a lie down, and we're going to support our head in our hands. Okay, so this is an exercise, of course, that can cause a lot of pain, a lot of neck pain for people, because what tends to happen is we try and pull the head off the floor, and we're kind of pulling on our neck, and the elbows come forward, and you get this real strain on the neck, which obviously isn't ideal. It can be quite painful initially anyway, because the muscles at the front of the neck try and take over. So people feel a lot of strain down the front of the neck. Again, that is a learning process. Once we start to strengthen the back line of the body, this will hurt less, but it can happen. So that's the downside of these exercises. Obviously, there's lots of upsides. They're going to strengthen the abdominals. They're going to strengthen your ability to lift off the mat. So let's go ahead and give it a go. But remember, this is about breathing and how this helps us facilitate movement. So let your head really rest in your hands and move your elbows in a little bit so they're sort of really close to you. And then let them roll away slowly. Not enough that your back's going to arch, so just sort of moving like a butterfly, just bringing its wings in and out. See if you can keep your pelvis and your ribs nice and heavy as you do this. So we could even think about how the breath could make this a really nice experience. So if you think about it, as you expand your body, does it feel natural to inhale, like you're inflating yourself? So as you inhale, slowly let the arms open. And as you exhale, everything contracts and gets drawn into your center. So inhale, there's an expansion. Exhale, there's a contraction. Just do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the back and the ribs nice and heavy. Good. Now, find your middle ground. So in between those 2 points, place your elbows in sort of the middle of that 2 points. And we're going to try this little curl up exercise. Again, it's a very small movement. It's just head, neck, shoulders. It's not a sit up where you're expected to come all the way up, okay? It's just flexing your upper back. So keep the head nice and heavy. Now, remember I said the breath comes first and it can help facilitate the movement. So I'm going to inhale. Remember we said inhale is an expansion. So you'll see as I inhale, everything gets a little bit rounder. You can probably see my ribs expanding. And when I exhale, maybe you can see that they go down. So I'm going to use that to help me curl up. So I'm going to inhale. Now as I exhale, the ribs are going to slide down towards the pelvis, and the exhale helps lift me up because everything is contracting. As I inhale, we're going to go down again. So exhale, the ribs is not about pulling on your neck and hurting our maybe already mobile necks. It's about sliding the rib cage down, which then lifts the head up for you. Okay, it's actually this whole back line lifting up and over. So eventually you can start to take your hands away and back down. So let's do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale, feel the ribs contract and slide, and that's what lifts you up. So that's where you get your abdominal contraction from. We don't have to squeeze the abdominals or pull in the pelvic floor. That's going to happen as you exhale and flex your spine. So as I exhale, this sliding action tells these guys down here to switch on. And then as I release, they can relax again. So it's responding to the movement that you make. So I'm just going to come up to a seated position. So as you get more proficient and with your movement, you'll start to notice that you're using your breath in a very natural way to help you with your movements. Okay, so I hope that was helpful. Feel free to leave me any comments and ask me any questions, and I'll get back to you. So thank you for listening, and until next time, stay zebra strong.